What is up, guys? So I wanted to do a video for my Apple fans that have been asking me about this phone, and they saw how much I hated the iPhone 11's display. Well, I didn't hate it, it was just not a display that I really liked for the price point that they're selling it at. So they told me to check out the iPhone XS. This is the renewed version off of Amazon, and mine came in pretty good condition. So fun fact, I've never gotten a phone that was in bad condition from Amazon renewed. So definitely, if you're thinking about getting a renewed phone, I highly recommend them, at least from Amazon. Now eBay, that's a different story if you want to go the refurbished route. I'm not 100% sure on that. So the iPhone XS will set you back around $530. I'll put the links down below, and you have a glass back stainless steel design. And the first thing I noticed with this phone is just it kind of has a weight to it. It's a little kind of heavy phone to me, but definitely feels really super solid in the hand. Now, as far as the design and how it has aged, I think it still looks pretty good. Now, the camera module on the back definitely, I guess, looks a little bit dated, since all the camera modules nowadays are the square designs, but I'm not a super huge fan of the square camera modules. But I think this one looks super solid, and it still looks like a very high quality premium phone, and you basically can't tell the difference from the front. You still have the huge notch with the Face ID sensors and all that up front. This phone is IP68 dust and water resistant. Now, what makes this phone really great over the iPhone 11 is you have the Super Retina OLED display. This display looks so much better than the IPS display on the iPhone. It's a 5.8-inch display, 1125 by 2436, 458 for the PPI. Just a really nice display, 120 hertz touch, and I really prefer these OLED displays over the IPS display, especially on a phone that's going to cost this much. I really feel like it should be standard to have an OLED display. Now, this phone is running the latest version of iOS 13, and it is extremely snappy as usual. You have the Apple A12 Bionic chip, which is not going to be lagging or anything like that. It's a very fast and still a great capable chip. For gaming, it looks like it's gonna max everything out from what I've been seeing, so no real issues with gaming and stuff like that. The phone does not really heat up at all either so far, so I'm really loving the performance on here. There's no real issue here, and one of the things I love about iOS, especially with these OLED displays, since they have dark mode now, you can take advantage of that, especially if you're somebody that wants to preserve all of the battery life. Now, this one is the 64 gigs and 4 gigs of RAM, so multitasking and stuff like that is no problem on here. iOS does a great job of keeping applications open, even with not having like 6 or 8 gigs of RAM. I still found the multitasking experience to be pretty solid on this phone. I also want to show you guys these speakers on here. So you have stereo speakers, and these things are massively loud. The bass presence is definitely there. Sound crystal clear, like I said, very loud. So I'll go ahead and actually let you hear them. So if you're into just watching TV and movies on your phone, or even listening to music out loud, these speakers are really excellent. So of course, this phone has NFC, so you'll be using Apple Pay if you're into the mobile payments and stuff like that. And also, Face ID on here is extremely fast and secure. Even though I'm not a big fan of the notch, it is very fast and works almost 100% of the time, really. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the camera. So you do have a dual camera setup on here, 12 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel telephoto lens. So there's no ultra wide on here, which is a little disappointing, but I feel like most people are using the telephoto lens for the portrait photos anyway. But I do miss the ultra wide camera on here, especially just it's just a fun camera to have and very useful in certain situations. But definitely portrait photos on here are going to look great. Image quality on here is excellent. The colors are not always accurate, especially outdoors. It seems to make things a little more darker than they actually are, just like the trees were a little bit more greener than they are in real life. But image quality is really good. Details, dynamic range is all there. You can shoot 4K video, 24, 30, or 60 FPS, and I'll actually go ahead and let you see some of that. And you also have a 7 megapixel camera on the front, but that one only shoots in 1080p 30 or 60 fps, which I would expect it to shoot in 4K, but it does not. So that is one thing. So if you're a vlogger or something like that, then you know, that is something to note. So let's go ahead and talk about battery life. So you have a 2658 milliamp battery in here, which is kind of small, with 15-watt fast charging and Q wireless charging as well, which is always nice. Battery life on here will get you through a day if you're a light user. Now if you're not a light user and you're like a heavy gamer and stuff like that, using heavy applications, this definitely will not get you through the day. You're gonna have to charge it you know, halfway through the day maybe, if you're just going really hard on it. But like I said, for casual use, this phone is no problem. So overall, the iPhone XS in 2020 is an excellent buy. I personally prefer this one over the iPhone 11 solely because of the display. I just think it's really important, and it just looks fantastic on here, especially for the price that I paid for it. So you know, compared to the iPhone 11. So thanks for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one.